Broadcasting from the Cannon Motor Studio on Central Avenue in downtown Laurel, Mississippi. This is Good Morning Pine Belt with host Ben Winpigler on Super Talk Laurel 99.3.
All right, here we go. Good Morning Pine Belt. We are back live here from the Cannon Motor Studio in beautiful, historic downtown Laurel, Mississippi. It's another beautiful morning here in the Pine Belt. I hope that everybody had a great, long Labor Day weekend. Lots and lots and lots of football that we will talk about over the next couple of shows. Exciting weekend of college football and high school football and all that it is football here in South Mississippi. Before we bring in our first guest, I do want to mention that this segment of Good Morning Pine Belt is brought to you by Dixie Electric Power Association, a member-owned electric co-op offering broadband internet for all your internet needs. Go check out DE Fastlink today, especially if you are a Dixie Electric member. It's better than anything you got, and I promise you, you will not have to call somebody and wait on hold for 45 minutes. All right, joining us now, as they do every month, we're going to rotate out, but this week we're talking, obviously, lots of football, so we brought in the guru himself, Josh Nichols. How you doing this morning, Josh?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man, absolutely. Well, let's jump right in. I know I was looking at y'all's, first of all, man, I know we were talking about off air. Y'all's Kickoff Magazine for this year, I mean, y'all knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, like I was telling you before we came on, you know, it was a total group effort from everybody within our office. Special shout out to Kevin Lindsay for all his photography work in the magazine, also with his editorial content that he provided, along with Jack Fairchilds and of course the Murph, Sean Murphy, helping out, and you know, praise to the advertising department, because you know as well as I do, we wouldn't be in business without advertisement.
I said, what keeps the lights on?
And you know, also to our owner and publisher Jim Segelski for letting us, you know, do our thing, and he doesn't micromanage us on it. He just lets us roll with it, and I mean that's part of the reason, you know, you get such a quality product like you see there on your desk.
Absolutely, it really is fantastic. And we'll start, because I know we were talking off air about college football, and we'll get into that, but we'll start with what's on the cover of the Kickoff Magazine. It's high school football, because obviously that's important to around here, and we're going to talk a lot about that. But, man, high school football season has officially kicked off, and it kicked off really well. We had some really great games on Friday.
Yeah, well, it started on Thursday
yeah.
with South traveling out to the jungle to play Northeast Jones. Me, Jack, and Kevin were all at that game. It was a great game, back and forth game. South prevailed with a late touchdown drive with just over a minute to go to pull that one out, 20-17. Then the next night you had a bit of a kind of muddy affair.
It was, yeah.
Out in Soso with West Jones toppling Laurel 20-9. Spoke with all four coaches yesterday and getting ready for right previews for this week's game, which you can find those previews online come Wednesday or in the Wednesday edition of the Leader-Call. Another big county rivalry game with West Jones and Northeast Jones playing.
Yeah.
And should be another good game. Northeast, I watched them in the Jamboree. I watched them in the South game. They're really physical.
Yeah.
They may not be the strongest offensively, but like Coach Milner said, and then even West Jones coach Corey Reynolds even reiterated it. But they're gonna try to punch you in the mouth every time. So
yeah,
I mean it's a rivalry game, and you know it can go either way. But the biggest game of Friday night will be the battle for the Little Brown Jug.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's going to be our game we're covering.
With Hattiesburg coming in to play Laurel between the bricks, it'll be the 104th time that game's been played consecutively. You know, Katrina couldn't stop it from being played. COVID couldn't stop it from being played.
Nothing.
I mean, until, you know, the Almighty comes to take us home, Laurel and Hattiesburg will play every high school football season.
Absolutely, man. I'm excited about that, and we'll talk a lot about that with Caleb Hamill tomorrow. But, I mean, it is an exciting season. I'm looking here at the cover. We've got some really great players this year, I think, between all four of the county schools.
Oh, absolutely. And we do a weekly show on our Leader-Call Facebook page. Me, Jack, and Kevin sit down, talk high school, college football. And one thing that we talked about with the 12 kids that you see on the cover, we had 3 from each school. We let the coaches decide who they wanted to send to us, and we just work with that. But I'll tell you, man, all 12 of those kids, I mean, we spent a little over 2 hours with them. They're outstanding young men.
Yeah.
They're going to be good leaders. A couple of them, at least one of them, no, 2 of them on there. Bryson Cooley from West Jones, offensive lineman. He's already committed to LSU. And then you see number 7 for Laurel, Zachariah Jenkins. He's already committed to Memphis. And both of those kids are going to graduate in December and be early enrollees in January. So, I mean, that kind of just speaks to, you know, their family upbringing, the coaches. And, I mean, it's kudos to all of them all the way around, because I'm telling you, those 12 boys are really outstanding.
I think that, and you made that point too. One thing that I have noticed about all 4 of our coaches is that they're better men than they are coaches. I mean, which says something, because they're all fantastic coaches.
Absolutely. And what's kind of neat is a lot of those guys either grew up playing some sport together, whether it was, you know, summer league baseball,
right,
what have you, and then they went on to play against each other in high school in some facet. They've coached, some of them have coached together. They've been now coaching against each other. And we were at Kiwanis Club early this summer, and all 4 of them were there and spoke. And then afterwards, they were all kind enough to sit down with the 3 of us and talk. And you could just, I mean, the camaraderie between the 4 of them, it's truly, I think it's very unique. And I would find it hard that any other county that has 3 or 4 high schools, that their coaches all get along like that. Now come Friday night, it's a different story.
Absolutely,
But once that final whistle blows and everything, the game's over, you know, they go back to being friends like they have been for years.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, let's jump into some college football, because, man, it was an exciting weekend of college football. We'll just start with what happened last night. It looked like it was going to be a fun game there with Bill Belichick in his first game at North Carolina, and then it just went really bad really fast.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, the Bill era has started in Chapel Hill, and like I told you off air, you know, they get the ball first. They march down 75 yards, punch it in the end zone. The crowd was rocking. I mean, it was fun to watch. It was exciting, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, here in SEC country, I mean, we feel like we're, you know, tops in everything. But last night, watching North Carolina and TCU play, it felt like an SEC atmosphere for about 10 minutes of game action, because after that opening drive, man, it just went south in a hurry, and TCU was able to do whatever they wanted to. They have a good quarterback. His last name's Hoover. He looked really strong. North Carolina, after that, I mean, I was telling my fiance and my brother, sister-in-law, mom, we have a group chat together, and I was I just became a grandfather on the 4th of July.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And my granddaughter and her parents were here last week, and they're in the second half when it got to be like a 30-plus point lead. I told them in the group chat, I was like, her name's Addie, by the way. I said the North Carolina defense is softer than Addie's butt. So, I mean, I think Belichick will end up doing good things at North Carolina. He just, I mean, and that was another thing that they kept bringing up on the broadcast. A lot of people wouldn't realize it, but he has 70 new players on that team that weren't there.
Yeah, it's a lot. Well, there's already an article when I pulled up Bleacher Report. The very first thing that pulls up is Belichick built for college football. Let me tell you, Bill Belichick's built for anything.
I totally agree. Kind of like, you know, Saban didn't really cut it so well his first time in the NFL. I've heard rumors swirling that he wants to get back into coaching next year, and really hasn't alluded to whether he wants to come back to college or if he wants to give the NFL another shot. Yeah. But, you know, they're both, as far as Belichick on the professional level and Saban on the collegiate level, I think it would be hard for anyone to argue that they're not the best to do it at each of those levels.
Absolutely. All right, before we end, it'd be remiss not to talk about the schools from around here, the state. Obviously, there was the big showdown in Hattiesburg, State and Ole Miss, and man, or State and Southern Miss. For the first half, and I was there, I was like, man, we're hanging, we're really good, and then the third quarter happened.
Yeah, that was. To be honest with you, I'm not that surprised because Coach Huff, kind of like Coach Belichick, he has a lot of new faces in Hattiesburg. But I will tell you, I will not be surprised if come early mid-November, if Southern Miss is not right in the thick of things in the Sun Belt Conference, because I think he's already done a phenomenal job, in my opinion. And it was something that we talked about internally at the newspaper last week prior to the game, and that was, it's still an SEC school.
They are.
And
they are.
More money.
Yeah.
More high-profile players.
That's it.
And
more depth. And that's where they got us.
Exactly.
All right, well, Josh, I appreciate you coming in, man. We appreciate all y'all do for us over there at the Leader-Call, and another exciting weekend of football coming up.
Absolutely, and as I always say, just in honor of Coach Ed Orgeron, go Tigers.
All right, when we come back, we're going to be talking with Corbin Holifield about the Laurel Food Truck Festival. Stick around. Good morning, Pine Belt.
We're back to Good Morning Pine Belt. Super Talk Laurel 99.3.
All right, here we go. Good morning, Pine Belt. We are back. Thank you for tuning in this morning, wherever you may be on this first Tuesday here in September. Beautiful morning here from the Cannon Motor Studio in historic downtown Laurel, Mississippi. Our thanks to the guru himself, Josh Nichols, from the Laurel Leader-Call. Lots of exciting football happened this weekend and even more to come. Before we bring in Corbin Holifield there from the Laurel Food Truck Festival, I do want to mention that this segment of Good Morning Pine Belt is brought to you by Magnolia State Bank. Don't forget, it will be just a month or so before they are officially a name and everything First State Bank, and we are going to be talking with, look at the schedule here. Yep, next Tuesday, we're going to be talking with Chris Mangum and Moke. They are respectively from Magnolia State Bank and Bank First. So we'll be talking with them all about the merger and what that means for you as the actual people. All right. Excuse me. And so, yeah, go check them out today. All right, joining us now it seems like y'all have done a lot of these now, and they've been so successful. Corbin Holifield, he is with the Laurel Food Truck Festival. Thanks for joining us this morning, man.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right, so let's jump right in. Obviously, for people who are not familiar, talk about kind of how the Laurel Food Truck Festival got started.
When we had our store back in last year of July, I think, I posted about wanting to see what people wanted, and then I got suggestions similar to a food truck festival, and then I got from that and did the food truck festival. And the first one happened September 5th last year, I think it was. And then we had one in March.
Yeah. And they both went just gangbusters, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, they were, I remember driving by for both of them, and man, they were just, that parking lot over there was packed. I mean, you couldn't fit another person in the parking lot. It was, I remember seeing somebody say, well, you better get there right when they open or you're going to be waiting in line for a long time because it went so successful. And so let me ask you this. What do you think in the first couple, what do you think made it so successful?
What do you think?
I think probably having someone young with lots of great ideas that wanted to help a community, I think, and choosing the proper food trucks from other places that we don't have locally, I think that made a huge difference. And he just has good ideas as far as promotion and really backing his food trucks. The people that own these food trucks just love Corbin.
Yeah.
And that really does make a difference.
Yeah, it really does. Well, this event has gotten so big that it will not fit in the parking lot of the gym there anymore. Y'all have to move and talk about the big move, man. Y'all have kind of grown a little bit there in space wise.
Yeah, that is moved to a very, very, very large space. It's moving to the Laurel Fairgrounds, and it's going to be very large.
So now, when you say the fairgrounds, there's obviously lots of different parts of the fairgrounds. Is it in the parking lot or is it in the actual midway?
It will be in the midway.
Okay.
The whole entire midway, pretty much.
Okay.
We're spreading it out so there's plenty of room, because that's one of the things we heard is that there wasn't enough walking room.
Okay, yeah.
So I want to make sure that we have plenty of walking room, so it'll take the whole, where the fair normally is, it's the whole entire space.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And then we're using the big parking lot for everybody to park in. Not
Okay.
just the Magnolia Center parking lot, but just,
The main parking lot, the main fairground parking lot there. Well, that's awesome. That's coming up. That is this weekend. So let's talk about what's different, because I know that obviously there's going to be a lot more as far as stuff-wise, because you got a lot more room. So what's going to be different about this one?
Well, for one, we always make sure to keep it kid-friendly.
Yeah.
So we always have had the face painting and Mr. Silly Socks. Well, I've always wanted to add in activities, but we could never do that in the parking lot that we were in because it was so small.
Yeah.
So this next time we are going to have the bungee, like the ones that are in the mall normally.
Oh, yeah,
we're
yeah,
going to have that, and then we're going to have...
The fair ride.
Yeah, he's going to have a little fair ride. It's a little kiddie one. It's a tiny little one. And then we're going to have the bull riding, which is more for adults.
Oh, okay.
The petting zoo.
Oh, yeah, petting zoo. We have the petting zoo that's coming all the way from Louisiana. They have tortoises. They're going to have cows. They're going to have a kangaroo. They're going to have everything you can think of.
I'm excited about the kangaroo.
Yeah. That's awesome. So it really is going to have a lot more than, and look, I'm looking too, y'all are even going to have some live music.
We're going to have, we always have had Lexi Fournette and her brother. But this time we are going to add in 2 more bands in addition to her, and that's Blues Impala and then Rashad.
Oh, yeah. Rashad the Blues Kid, he is just a staple around here. He's so good.
Well, and the music's going to be from 11 to 6. So
Okay.
it's music all but 1 hour. And that first hour is for everybody to kind of get settled in and set up.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Y'all it's really going to be a big deal. So talk about some, because obviously y'all had this a couple of times, and I know y'all kind of rotated some of the food trucks in and out. As far as food truck wise, what can people expect?
Well, we're always going to have the originals because they are the fan favorites, like Salty Jacks, and of course we added in Crabman this past time, because he was, of course, all over the South is known as everybody's favorite.
I heard that was. I heard that he was like sold out by like 12 o'clock.
And then some other ones we're adding in are actually some from the fair that are normally at the fair, which is Southern Goodness Concessions. They're the ones that have normally the fried Snickers.
Oh, wow.
And all the fried sweets, which are not good for you.
But
we
they're
have
good.
to have them.
Yeah.
And then we're having some more from the coast, which is, Mixed Up Kitchen, which is another new barbecue truck because they have all kinds of stuff. They're going to have ribs. So I think they said they're going to have some sausage, and then I can't remember what else. They're bringing all the meat.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
And then we're going to have Flaming Pepper. I'm really excited about this one because they're going to have, one of the things they're known for is having a pineapple, and it's full of all different things. And they're known for having very spicy food, and people like spicy food.
Yeah,
so they're going to have spicy food.
Oh, okay. I like that.
But we're adding in 8 new ones this time.
Okay. Now, now, obviously, you're going to eat this delicious food, and I know you said you had the fried Snickers. And you may not know right offhand. What's it looking like on the dessert end?
Snow Boogers, of course, is coming back.
Okay.
Because we added them this last March because they were asked to have them.
Yeah.
Over and over, so we're like, we got to have them. And then we have Honey Mud Cupcakes, which they do their cupcakes, cookies, and then we heard that they're going to do the Dubai bars this time, which is pretty popular.
Yeah.
And then, we're going to have Dirty Little Secrets, which is... they do soda, and then they have all these add-ins into it.
Oh, nice.
Which is a craze right now, too, on TikTok and all that.
Yeah.
And then, let's see what else. We're going to have Country Kettle, which they have their popcorn, their kettle corn, mini donuts, and they said they're going to have something that's some other stuff in too this time too.
That's awesome, man. Well, I'm looking here, and excuse me, I do see one thing that is a little bit different. There is, just to get in the gate, it's $1. Now,
Yep,
is that
it's
$1
$1.
per person?
$1 per person.
Okay.
Keeping it cheap and affordable.
There you go, $1 per person, and you can really, I mean, honestly, you could stay and eat lunch and dinner there if you wanted to.
What we've been saying is, because of course the games that day we told people the best thing to do, and what people said is they're going to get food, go to the game, so they can not have to worry about food.
Oh yeah, that's genius. That's genius. See, yeah, y'all playing that out, didn't you? All right, so I'm looking here too, and I know you kind of briefly mentioned that the kids zone obviously is going to have some games, and the adult zone is going to have the mechanical bull. What else is going to be over there in the adult zone?
We are working on that for sure. We're going to have the bull, and then we're going to have a photo op booth for people to just take pictures in.
Yeah.
And then we're looking to have, I got to finalize it, but we're going to have the permanent jewelry person that we normally
nice.
have.
Yeah.
We just have to do the little finical things, making all those finalized.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome, man. Well, Corbin, man, I can't tell you that this is, like your mom said a second ago, having somebody young who really is taking initiative to do these kind of events, because we see events that happen, and Laurel Main Street does lots of great events, but Laurel Main Street can only do so much. I mean, there's only so many people at mainly Caroline, who run that organization, and they can only do so much. And then business people will be like, "Oh, I want this to happen." Well, they never actually do it. Well, y'all actually did it,
Right?
And it has gone incredibly well. And is there anything else before we end here that you want people to know about the food truck?
Yeah. One of the things we want to make sure everybody knows, so that you're aware before you come in, they have the clear bag policy.
Yes. And it will be enforced.
It's enforced, so that's something that the ladies need to know, because I know as a lady myself, I carry a bag, and just make sure you're bringing in a clear bag, or just bring put your money in a little pouch and put it in your pocket.
Yeah, or the small bags. I know I've worked in event venues for several years, and I mean the small bags, and also, too, people are like, what about diaper bags? Well, first of all, they make clear backpacks, but if not, if you have a diaper bag, for a lot of the times, if you have kid diaper-related stuff in it, they'll search it and look through it, but just try not to make a hassle out of it.
Right.
Just show up with, put it in the bottom of the stroller with a couple of diapers and a pack of wipes.
Right.
And you don't need the whole thing. All right, well, look, we really appreciate y'all coming in. That is this Saturday. What's the time?
10 to 6.
10 to 6 over at the fairgrounds. If you show up to the big fairgrounds parking lot, you can't miss it. You just walk in the main gate, right?
Yeah.
Walk in the main gate and you can't miss it. Well, we really appreciate y'all coming. We really appreciate this event. I'm excited for it. I think I'll probably actually get to come out to this one and check it out. So thank you to y'all, and I'm sure y'all have another one, so we'll talk to y'all next time. Absolutely. All right, when we come back, we're going to be talking with Jack Armstrong about another exciting event coming up this weekend. Sticking around. Good morning, Pine Belt. We'll be right back.
We're back to Good Morning Pine Belt. Super Talk Laurel 99.3.
All right, here we go. Good morning, Pine Belt. We are back live here from the Cannon Motor Studio. All right, thanks to Mr. Corbin Holifield there. Exciting food truck festival coming up. Go check that out at the Magnolia Center. Lots of food trucks obviously have had great success with it. At the other locations, it's just going to be even bigger, so go check them out. Before we bring in our next guest, I do want to mention that this segment of Good Morning Pine Belt is brought to you by Dixie Electric Power Association, a member-owned electric co-op offering broadband internet. Go check out DE Fastlink today. I promise you it will be better than any, it will be better than any internet service that you may have. All right, our next guest today is Mr. Jack Armstrong. He is certainly no stranger to Super Talk here. But he does lots of things, and most of the time when we have him in, it is for some type of gospel festival. But Mr. Jack, thanks for coming in this morning.
Hey, thanks for having me. Glad to be back on Super Talk.
Absolutely. All right, so let's jump right in. Obviously, it's been everybody had a long weekend, and coming off the Labor Day, there it is, one of the holidays. Labor Day weekend, exciting to get back into the office here and excited to have you in. But you have an event coming up this Friday over at First Baptist Church, who is a great partner of ours. So why don't you go ahead and tell the people about it?
Sure. It was a great weekend. You know, my group, the Bible Tones, we were singing at Silver Dollar City in Branson, Missouri. Had a great time up there. Southern Gospel Picnic, they're celebrating 20 years.
Wow.
They turned the park over to Southern Gospel Music. The Hershon family does, and we're there, been there for the last several years. And it's just a great time. And actually, two of the groups that we're going to be talking about today was at Silver Dollar City with me up there. And, you know, it's good to be able to go all over the country and do what we do. Mm-hmm. And it's even better to when I bring my friends in town to my hometown and see what we have here in the Pine Belt. Yeah. And they take notice, you know.
They do. With
Ben and Aaron and everything they're doing with hometown is just kind of waking people up to Laurel, Mississippi in our area.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned when you were introducing me about what we bring into the area as far as gospel music. I'll never forget about 4 or 5 years ago now, the Bible Tones were singing in Bradenton, Florida.
Okay.
Now that's 10, 11 hours from here.
Yeah, funny enough, that's where I'm right outside of where my wife grew up. Well, I say first 5 years of her life.
Okay, so. You know the area.
Yeah.
And Bill Bailey down there, pastor friend of mine, and also concert promoter. He promotes gospel music all over the country. And we were singing at his church one Sunday night. And, you know, I normally wouldn't talk about an event 10 or 11 hours away.
Right.
But when you get up there and you do that, sometimes you're just out of habit. You just say it. And that night I said something about something we're having here at First Baptist, Laurel, Mississippi. And after the concert, I walked back there to the table, and a lady came up to me and grabbed that flyer and held it up to her face. She said, "Do you see me?" I said, "Yes, ma'am, I do." She said, "You're going to see me in Laurel, Mississippi if I can hear this kind of music and go see the houses I see on TV with Ben and Aaron every week. If I'm not in the morgue or the hospital, I'll be there."
Wow.
So from then on, when we do something here, no matter what zip code we sing in, I talk about it because people are watching us.
They are.
And it thrills me that our area is booming. And I tell people that don't live here, you know, every time we go downtown, just look at the out-of-state tags.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can't walk around without – I park and walk right to the library where I park my Jeep every day. You know, that mural's right there by the Lee and Penn Prize, and it's every day. Almost every day I walk by somebody, and they're taking a picture or trying to take us. I'm like, "Do you want me to take a picture?" It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this Friday, y'all are bringing, like you said, two of the groups that you just had an event with, and you're bringing them here.
Yeah, I was approached by Gold City. They're from Gaston, Alabama, and they're actually celebrating 45 years this year in Southern Gospel music. And they were one of the ones that were in Branson. And the other two groups just got back off the Bill Gaither final cruise that he's doing.
Wow.
You know, Bill's about to turn 90, and they went to Alaska, and that would be the Hoppers and Joseph Habedank. So we've got Gold City from Gadsden. The Hoppers are from North Carolina, and Joseph Habedank lives in Nashville, Tennessee, and they're all coming together. Now, they're starting, I think, an 8-city, 9-state tour together.
Yeah.
And of all places, they wanted to start it right here in Laurel, Mississippi.
What
and they
better
called
place?
me. Exactly. And they called me and said, "Would you do this?" And I looked at our schedule, and we were open. I said, "Absolutely. We would love to host the first night." And I'm also chairman of the board of directors of Singing News Magazine. Now, that's the printed voice of gospel music since 1969, and we have a magazine that we send out to 30,000 people plus a month. And we have also a radio network and a television network, and we're going to bring our TV crew down here for that first night too.
Yeah.
So we'll have Laurel, Mississippi, all over Singing News TV
That's
for this
awesome.
event, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, absolutely. So talk about a little bit why, and I've obviously grown up in the Southern Baptist Church. You know, I've seen these things my entire life, and I've always loved it. But why does it resonate so much in this area, this old gospel type music?
Well, you know, it's hard to explain, especially to some of the younger generation who has the internet now and 872 channels to watch on TV.
Yeah, right.
But let's go back to the late 60s, early 70s when my friend, the late, great Les Beasley, who had the idea to put the Gospel Singing Jubilee on television back then. You get up on Sunday morning getting ready to go to church. There was only 3 television stations back then, okay? And the 4th one was fuzzy. But you can get 3 real good.
Right.
And you hear those words, Jubilee, when he starts singing about that gospel music, Jubilee, would come on Sunday mornings with the Florida Boys, the Dixie Echoes, the Happy Goodman family, and just on, the Hensons. And it was just a staple of people growing up around here, and it always has been.
Yeah, it really has. I know that one thing that before my wife's grandmother passed, they used to host a lot there at what is now not Temple Baptist Church, Hardy Street Baptist Church, the old Temple Baptist Church. And man, she always loved. Every time there was one, we took her over there. But Bible Tones is obviously the host of this. Y'all are a big part of this.
We're not singing on it because they've already had it planned. But when they called me, I wanted to bring it here.
Yeah.
Love to bring our music to this area because, like I said, people love it.
Yeah, they do.
And Jan Walters, when she was before her stroke, before she had to leave Southeastern Baptist College, she called my wife Vonda and I and wanted to have a meeting years ago, and she said, I am tired of having to go to Pigeon Forge or somewhere and drive 7 or 8 hours to see these groups. We want to do it here.
Yeah.
So that kind of woke us up, and with other people wanting to step forward too, and a lot of people are not able to drive that far but still love the music. So when I have an opportunity to bring my friends into town and let people just drive out for a night and go sleep in their own bed, I'll always try and do that.
Absolutely. All right, so let's talk a little bit because you are in the Bible Tones, even though y'all aren't singing this weekend. First, how did you get involved in all this?
It's weird. I didn't grow up in the music. But when I was in high school, I was involved in high school choir.
Okay.
And I worked for my dad. He was in the wood business, so at the ripe old age of 12 years old, I would go work at his wood yard, and I didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
I need somebody up there to do that.
You're going to do it, yeah.
So I did that, and also worked at the Sunflower Grocery Store in Morton, Mississippi. And the assistant general manager there, his dad was in a quartet.
Okay.
And they were wanting to put one together, so we practiced a little bit, and he took me to a singing, and I met some people there that wound up needed a singer, and that's where I had my start. As a matter of fact, it was just a few weeks ago I sang with that group. They're still going now, and a different name was the first group I sung with back then. And that led me into music and started from them, I went to sing with a group on the coast and wound up with the Bible Tones in the 80s. Got out of gospel music altogether, got in the auction business. And, when you stand up and listen to a pastor deliver a message, and I've heard this said a lot of times, there's a difference in your time and God's time.
Yeah, amen.
And back then, all I wanted to do was ride a quartet bus. I mean, we had a Silver Eagle bus, man, had that, they were based out of Gulfport, had that beat scene airbrush on the side. Airbrush was big in the 80s, and that's all I wanted to do, but that door got closed, and it's hard to see then, but God needed me to be in the business world to do what I do now. To fast forward to 10 years ago when that same man called and said, if some of you young boys don't come back, I'm going to shut this thing down.
Wow.
So I was able to buy the group, and we're still going today 68 years later from when the group started in 1957. So I had to be where I was to be able to do that. It wasn't my turn back then. It is now. It's clear. It wasn't then, but it's crystal clear now.
It's amazing how when you, like you said, when you look back at something like that, like and you're in the middle of it, this doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Any sense. And you look back 20, 30, 10 years, even 5 years later, you're like, okay, well, I see what you're doing there, God.
There's a hymn called Trust and Obey.
Yeah. It's true. It's so true.
Yep.
All right, Mr. Jack, let's go back to this weekend. Obviously, it's going to be at FBC Laurel, but kind of tell people if they're interested in coming, is there tickets involved? Do they buy tickets at the door?
They can buy tickets. You can go to Gold City's website and buy tickets, or just come to the church. We'll have them available at the door. Our church will sit 700 people.
Wow,
It's going to have a big crowd, but you can come. They'll be available at the door. Gold City, the Hoppers. man, that's the first family of gospel music. Dean's one of my best friends. They started just like the Bible Tones in 1957, so this year 68 for them as well. And I already mentioned Gold City. They've been around 45 years now, and they're singing better than ever. And Joseph Habedank, let me tell you something about Joseph. He is such a talented individual, great singer and great songwriter, and I don't have the gift of songwriting, but I very, very much admire it.
Yeah, it's
and
something special.
I've heard people say that, especially writers that can really write from the heart when they've lived it.
Yeah.
And those of you who don't know Joseph's story, especially young people, I would encourage you to bring them out. He has battled addiction.
Wow.
And he's lived it, got a song out called The Basement. He did last year, made Singing News Magazine's Fan Awards Top 5 Song of the Year.
That's awesome.
And to hear his story and to see what God's done with that young man and just the talent he has vocally and be able to write songs. I mean, it's a great package.
Absolutely. All right, Mr. Jack, we appreciate you coming. Real quick, what time the doors open?
Doors open at 6. Concert will start at 7.
So get there at 6 because you don't want to get there at 6:45.
Get a great seat. That's it.
All right, that's Jack Armstrong with the Bible Tones getting ready for the Hits and Heritage Fall Tour. Check them out this weekend. We'll be right back. Good morning, Pine Belt from the Cannon Motors. Stick around. Super Talk Laurel 99.3.
This is Good Morning Pine Belt on Super Talk Laurel 99.3.
All right, here we go. Good morning, Pine Belt. We are back live here from the Cannon Motor Studio. Our thanks to Mr. Jack Armstrong there. Exciting Hits and Heritage Fall Tour coming up this Friday at FBC Laurel. Excited to have that here in town. All right, we are coming back here to talk a little bit more football, but before I bring in our next guest, I do want to mention that this segment of Good Morning Pine Belt is brought to you by Community Bank, local bankers, local decisions, and plenty of convenient locations. Go check out Community Bank today. And also, too, in the busyness of reading these off, I forgot to mention our good buddies over at McLaurin Carpets there in Soso. McLaurin Carpets right there off of Highway 28 in Soso, or at McLaurinCarpets.com, where quality will long be remembered after pricing is forgotten. Go check out McLaurin Carpets today. All right, joining us now for the second installment of what will be an exciting football season, Uncle Marcus Jones is back on with us for another exciting talk about some high school football. And Marcus, man, it was a good weekend of high school football.
Yes, it was. I was shocked, but I was very, very entertained.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. All right, well, let's talk about the one that we covered, and we'll talk a lot about that with Caleb Hamill tomorrow as well. But you were there, West Jones and Laurel. I mean, that I might as well have called that the Mud Fest.
Yeah, it was. I had to go to Walmart and get me some chicken boots, and I'm happy I did. But that game, to play in those conditions, and to throw and to catch and stuff, that has to be hard. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. It definitely makes life harder when you. That's when you really test what kind of athletes you have when you throw them in those type of conditions. So talk about that for a minute. I mean, you were there. What were the first game of the season? I know there's a lot of first game genders, but you talked a little bit about Laurel. What was your take on Laurel? 'Cause obviously, I know West Jones pulled the game out, but what was your take on Laurel?
Man, with Laurel, I got a lot of good people there, and West is my team, but Laurel is going to have to regroup. And they're going to have to figure out what works for them. I know it's the first game and all that, but from the opening snap, West Jones pedal to the metal, and they did not let up. They did not.
Yeah. Well, I joked with Coach Ernst when I saw him last week. Obviously, I'm a West Jones grad too, so I'm a little biased. But I hope I do think that Coach Ernst is a good coach, and he'll have them back together.
Oh yeah, like we said last week, you can never count Laurel
out.
No. The year that they went to the championship, they lost. I think I can't remember.
I think it was 5 of their first 6 games.
Yeah, and you never count them out.
No.
I will never ever count them out.
No, they're going to pick it up. But West Jones did end up pulling that game out. And let's stick on West Jones for right now and kind of preview, because we're not covering this game next week. West Jones is taking on a very tough Northeast team.
Like we said last week, Northeast is trying to get that former glory.
Yeah.
And they are. I've always say they some hard hitters.
Yeah.
Like last year, it was the smack, and there was a lot of hitting going on
Yeah.
last year. And that number 10,
Yeah.
he may be small in stature. I think Hosey is his name.
Yeah. Yes.
But he has more heart than any big guy, and it's going to be good to see Munzingo and Tootie go head to head. And, our line is good. A lot of young guys, but they're ready. They're eager.
And I think the weather conditions are a little bit more favorable this weekend, so it's not going to be quite as sloppy. But Northeast was able to pull off a very. I know we were talking with Josh in the first segment, a very close game there with South. Kind of a back and forth there for their first game.
That game, like I was watching it on the getting the highlights on my phone because I was at my nephew's other game, and it was going back and forth. I was like, "Are you kidding?"
Yeah.
So that was probably like that's an instant classic because it came down literally to the wire.
I would say probably the locally the best game we had.
Yeah, for sure. The jungle is always tough to go to the jungle, and they definitely had a great game. And Flowers, like we said, him and number 5, what's his name? Jesus.
For Northeast?
No, Antoine Jenkins.
Oh, yes.
That combo there.
Yeah.
I look forward to see what that's gonna be like.
I'm really excited for this West and Northeast game. I wish we could cover it, and we'll talk more. We're going to cover the as you said, the little brown jug. And we'll talk a lot about that with Caleb Hamill tomorrow. Well, Marcus, we've ran out of time again for this segment, but you I know we were talking off air. You've got the highlights up, right?
Yes, they're on. Always go on Monday to Legacy GMC of Laurel's page, and our local teams will have all of those highlights, so you get some good football. And if you're looking, scroll on down and look at the cars and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
We have plenty used, pre-owned and new cars.
Yeah.
You should definitely come check us out.
And y'all weren't closed yesterday.
Not at all.
You said when the whole world is closed, y'all are open.
We are most definitely open.
Absolutely. Well, man, I'm excited to keep talking with you for the rest of the year.
Yes,
I think this year is going to be probably one of the best high school football seasons we've had in a while.
Yeah, because it's not going one-sided.
Exactly.
Everybody is doing pretty good.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that's it for Good Morning Pine Belt this week. We'll be back with Uncle Marcus next Tuesday. Don't worry, you'll get more of it. Marcus, thanks for joining us this morning, man.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, it's 10 o'clock, so you know what that means. Go see Rocky over at K-Rocks, get you a chick on a stick and a homemade lemonade while you're there. And, hey, while you're driving, after you eat, keep the dial on Super Talk Law 99.3 because Middays with Gerard is up next. But we'll be back from the Cannon Motor Studio tomorrow for Good Morning Pine Belt.